Now, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lender talking to you. Now, we're out here because the April unemployment report is out, and unemployment came in at 8.1%, and underemployment came in at 14.5%. What do you think about that, Catwoman?
Unemployment is still a big problem in this country. I don't really think it's getting that much better, but any kind of improvement is some improvement, but it's really still a huge issue, and I think it's one of the biggest issues this country has right now.
Let's take a step back because we're probably just getting headshots.
Okay.
Employment increased in professional and business services, retail, trade, healthcare. Employment increased in professional and business services, retail, trade, and healthcare, but declined in transportation and warehousing. What do you think about that?
Well, at least if it's increasing in some places, that's at least a good sign. I mean, I don't know what to say about where it's decreasing, but if it's increasing anywhere, then that's at least something positive, because it's like some jobs are out there, they just might be in different areas. But like I said, any increase is better than a complete decrease, so I don't know what would make those places more, hiring more or whatever than other places, but whoever's hiring, good, go get the jobs, go work.
Now, when people are no longer qualified for unemployment benefits, they are removed from the unemployment rate and are no longer counted as unemployed. What do you think about that?
I think the unemployment system is pretty fair, and they do give you a pretty good amount of time to go find a job, look for a job, find some sort of employment. I don't think you should be able to get unemployment like for the rest of your life, because then you're just going to be lazy and not look for a job. And I do know that they are pretty lenient. People have gotten extensions on their unemployment. So I think the unemployment system, and benefits and stuff is pretty fair. I wouldn't say that it's wrong.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the folks throughout the galaxy?
Yeah, maybe you should vote for Catwoman for president next year.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network signing out. Now, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now, the April unemployment report is out, and unemployment came in at 8.1%, and underemployment came in at 14.5%. So what do you think about that, Venom?
Well, you know what? That's kind of like, on a serious tip, that's why I'm out here right now, because there's not too many people qualified to do what I do.
My mic's coming off. Now, unemployment increased in professional and business services, retail, trade, and healthcare, but declined in transportation and warehousing. Now, what do you think about that, sir?
Well, that tells me one thing: the lack of education. There's more money going into high industrial end products than there is in their children of education.
Now, when people no longer qualify for unemployment benefits, they are removed from the unemployment rate and are no longer counted as unemployed. What do you think about that?
First of all, what do I think about it? That doesn't even make any sense. If they're not employed, they're looking for gainful employment, why not give them the benefit of at least having the option to get gainful employment by being supported by what they've been doing all of their lives, earning a living?
So in closing, is there any last minute thing you'd like to say to the folks throughout the galaxy?
There's only one thing I like to say: be an entrepreneur. That's the only way you're going to survive in this economy.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network signing out. Now, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network talking to you. Now, the April unemployment report is out, and unemployment came in at 8.1%, and underemployment came in at 14.5%. Now, what do you think about that?
I think it's wrong. It should be more.
Now, there were employment increases in professional and business services, retail, trade, and healthcare, but declines in transportation and warehousing. Now, what do you think about that?
There should be more transportation and more unemployment stuff for people.
Now, an interesting thing comes up is when people no longer qualify for unemployment benefits, they are removed from the unemployment rate and are no longer counted as unemployed. What do you think about that?
I think it's wrong. It's very wrong. They should get more unemployment out of it.
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the folks?
Just keep fighting for your unemployment and don't be afraid. That's all I can tell you.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network signing out.
Okay.
Now, the April unemployment report is out, and unemployment came in at 8.1%, and underemployment came in at 14.5%. Now, what do you think about that?
I think that's wrong. I mean, so the unemployment and the underemployment, wow, it's like almost double the amount.
Yeah, underemployment is people working part-time.
Yeah.
You know, that can't find
They
full-time
can't find the
jobs.
full-time jobs. So let me see. Oh,
Now, there were increases in employment for professional and business services, retail, trade, and healthcare. But those in the transportation and warehousing industry were losing jobs. Now, what do you think about that?
I don't think that's right. I think they deserve just as many opportunities as the other, as like business services, retail. I think the people who are, the profession is transportation, they deserve the same amount of, opportunities to work.
Now, when people no longer qualify for unemployment benefits, they are removed from the unemployment rate and are no longer counted as unemployed. What do you think about that?
I also think that's not that great because if they're still not employed, then they can't get any benefits at all. So it's like they can't get a job, but they can't get benefits. So what do they do at that point?
So in closing, is there any last minute things you'd like to say to the folks throughout the galaxy?
For who?
Any last minute things you'd like to say to the people throughout the galaxy?
Yeah, just keep hanging in there and, things will get better. I believe they will.
So in closing, this is Taxes from the Predatory Lending Network signing out.